We making it up. Y'all heard about the lady in Memphis? She went online and bought a fake Walmart vest. Probably did for Marketplace, you know what I'm saying? Went online, bought the fake Walmart vest, bought a fake corporate badge, put it all on, and went into Walmart for over 6 months straight, acting like she was somebody important. Yeah, corporate. And she charged up food in the hundreds of thousands of dollars in clothes. And walked out. She did. Now, to her credit, she didn't just walk out free with the stuff, but she would mark it down. She marked down a 50-inch TV to $3.15. $3.15.
Okay, well, I'm about to go there.
She marked the 50-inch TV screen down and left out of Walmart with that. They say she came in with none but confidence. That's what they were tricked by. They said she would come in and say things like, you know, corporate is watching, so be on your best behavior. Corporate is watching. And, you know, so she had the look, you know, European, you know what I'm saying, had the vest on and the badge to say corporate, you know. Yeah, she came like that, hit them over the head for 6 months straight. Yeah, she came, well, she tricked them all until she ran across them smart Negroes that worked there and put it together. You know who killed the scheme? The smart Negroes. They know who the boss is.
Negroes, they're the light-skinned Negroes.
Yeah, the light-skinned Negroes. It might have been some of them too.
They call them Europeans.
You know, you coming in, you discount a TV to $3. First of all, yeah, my antennas are up anyway. Why you ain't just take the TV out? Why you mark it down to $3? You know what I'm saying? Yeah. Yeah, something is up. What about in Indiana, man? That I hate to hear stuff like that. The lady, she was a kindergarten teacher, man. She got arrested for sex texting the students. Sex texting. You got first graders, not even kindergartners.
She was a teacher.
A teacher.
That's what do it.
Text the little girl, I love my girl. Oh, you crossing the lines. You crossing the lines. You know. I just hate to hear those type of things. Those type of people need to be dealt with, though. Like, you know, if the family can get at you in the street and the police don't do nothing about it type stuff. You know, the purge type stuff. You know what I mean? When stuff like that, I don't have no sympathy when you hurt kids, man. I don't have no sympathy at all for that type of stuff. But we got a really great show tonight. We got some people that empower the youth in here tonight.
Yeah.
You know? Yeah. Pull their coattails. Give them guidance and direction. You know, when they out there lost in the wilderness, they can come to the spot.
Lost and turned out.
Affectionately known as the spot. We the spot. Yeah, we got some great group of people on. The Spot Youth Empowerment Organization is on board tonight. Yeah. I got Miss Terrell and Wanda Aaron on board with us tonight. So stay with me. We're going to take a quick break and we'll be back in a minute. Player T, that's me. Hollywood in the hood. All right, we back. Player T, that's me, Hollywood in the Hood. Yeah. Before I go any further and call up my esteemed guests, I want to thank a few people, and that's the Coleman family.
Right.
Big Bud, Miss Kim, Miles, Morgan, Swole, DJ, the whole family holding us together for quite some time, allowing you the space and the place to get your face out there to the world, Craig. I didn't say get your face known down the street to them niggas that you used to hang with. I ain't say next door. I ain't say the state over, Craig. I said the world, Craig. The world. You know, the world. You know, y'all know what that mean, right? Like when you get on planes and you go outside the borders, or you get on ships and you go outside the borders of the United States. Now, I'm not quite sure, man, because a lot of jokers be talking about like they really went somewhere, but they really haven't. They read about it. They homeboys and homegirls told them about it.
All that, man.
But see, my team, we in and out.
Real.
We just came back from Atlanta. We just came back from the Bahamas. You know?
Came back from Jamaica.
Just came back.
We might be in New York on Monday.
Huh? Might be in New York on Monday, right? For game one. Yeah, you hear that, Donovan Mitchell? Yeah, LA next week. Yeah. So, you know, so you local jerkers, y'all gotta pick it up, man. You know what I mean? But big shout out to Superior Renaissance. If y'all hip to them, you know, from 105 to 125th Street, right here on Superior, you got a great group of people that's taking ownership of their community. They're standing up. You know, creating jobs, creating business, keeping the community clean. You ain't heard about it? You seen us out there last summer cleaning up the community. The Superior Renaissance. If you're a business owner and you're in the Superior area, or you're a resident and you want to be a part of the Superior Renaissance, hook up. Visit superiorai.org. You know what I'm saying? You can get down with the team. You know, also the Superior Renaissance got a gala coming up that you can attend. It's a black tie gala or all white or whatever you. It's one of those. You got to be dressed up. Excuse me. Period. You know, that's coming up June 6th. It's like a fundraiser. It's for us. You know, so big shout out to Minister Rowland and the Superior Renaissance team. You know, big shout out to my man T. Vicks. Really dope artist. Really dope artists, you know. Yeah, they stop by and holler at us. They're all in the industry. Live, you know. But big shout out to T. Vicks. You know what I mean? T. Vicks is, he's signed with Master P and them, ANC All In Committee. You know what I mean? And he's going to be a returning guest coming up, so stay looking out for that. You know, big shout out to, AMS Leather Company, too. Amanda's, Marie Santiago. She was on not too long ago. She told a really great story, how she persevered through some really tough accidents and how she was a disabled veteran. Now she's selling leather goods and she's employing veterans. She's doing it. So check her story out. Go check out some of her wares. Yeah, big shout out to Lil Will to God too. And Lil Will came on. He had the story about how he was going through some issues with seeing his son. His mother was preventing him from seeing his son early on in their in their relationship. They're more cordial now.
Well, see, we got to understand that the little girl, the daughter, needs the father too.
Yeah. Somebody needed some guidance because let me tell you.
It's not just the boy that needs the father, but the little girl needs the daddy.
Yeah, the little girl needs the daddy too.
You need to know what man you mess with and what man not to.
Right, because you'll be out here twisted up messing with the wrong men.
Yeah, you get twisted.
We wonder why these sisters all, we call them crazy, but we driving them crazy.
Driving them straight crazy.
We got to take ownership as a male, as a man, You can't keep tearing up women's lives and then pointing the finger like you ain't had nothing to do with it.
Have respect for a speech of carry
Start respecting and loving yourself, man. Start respecting and loving yourself, and it'll work out. That's all I'm going to tell you. Start loving and respecting on yourself, and then you bring everything into perspective. You know, if you don't love on yourself and don't respect yourself, anything can happen that you don't want to happen to you. You know, so love and respect yourself. That's just the moral. So I can break it down all kind of ways, but love and respect yourself, man. Because at the end of the day, that's who you rooting for. That's who you going to bat for every day. That's who you living for. You. You might got other people underneath you taking care of, but at the end of the day, self-preservation is the #1 law of nature. It's self-preservation. If you can't take care of self, you can't take care of nobody else.
Sure.
And if you ain't taking care of yourself, don't nobody want to hear you anyway. They want to use you, okay? That's what they want to do. But we got a really great show tonight. Like I said, we got a youth mentor, community leader from the Spot Youth Empowerment Organization. We got Miss Tara LaWanda Aaron. Oh, yeah.
Thank you.
You're
thank
welcome.
you.
You're
Thank
welcome.
you.
Yeah, knock me off my feet. Some of these guys just knock you off your feet, man. You know, with how they do things, man, how they're such a blessing to people in the community. Some people like to call them living angels, you know, angels that walk amongst us that just want to help. Above all other things, but sometimes we don't recognize them. They might not be dressed the way we expect them to be dressed. You know, they might not be living the way you expect them to be living. But they're blessings.
Thank
You know, and that's how I see you are, Tara LaWanda.
Thank you, Player T. I
welcome.
am so excited to be here. Listen, I am a huge fan of your work.
Thank you.
I have been following you for a while, and
Wow.
I was quite honored to have you
Well, we
extend the
hooked up.
invitation to me to talk about
Well, you're doing great
the
things in the
organization.
community. We like to mess with those type of people, so it's not of small significance.
Yes,
you know, we appreciate you being here and coming on board. Now, let me get to it. The Spot Youth Empowerment Organization.
Yes, sir.
First of all, right off the bat, the Spot.
Period.
Yeah, that sounds like a place I can go, and you know, it used to be sound like where you go get high, and you go get all this. But I'm here to tell you, this ain't that type of party. The Spot we talking about.
Not at
This
all.
where you get uplifted.
That's right.
Tell me, how did you even come up? And I'm bringing levity, but tell me about how you named it the Spot, and why is it the Spot Youth Empowerment
Organization. Absolutely. So the Spot is just like you said. A spot is a place, right?
Yeah.
So that's the name.
Okay.
Slang.
Okay.
Something
slang.
that the young people
Can register.
identify,
Yeah,
right?
yeah.
And it is the space for youth empowerment. So if you want to get empowered, come to the Spot. Come hang out with us and get empowered. So that's what we were doing. We were looking at the situation of our youth across Cuyahoga County. We were seeing the failures of our school system. We were seeing the failures of our community leaders. We were seeing the failures of, you know, the community at large. We were being heavily hit with drugs. You know, people were losing their kids. You know, a lot of things were happening. Yes, we were losing welfare benefits. You know, people were losing homes and things like that. And our kids just were not, you know, transcending over to be successful adults. And, you know, I just...
To Tara LaWanda, though, how is it we didn't turn a blind eye? It's so easy to turn a blind eye and be like, all these kids today, the hell with them. You didn't do that. You saw the failures of the school system, the justice system. You saw the failures of how it's going, and you decided to be a void, to fill a void.
The kids are us. We are the kids. This is our community. We are the adults. We have to stand up. I can't wait for nobody else to join me. I got to get moving.
Huh.
I do what I do in my space. I can't worry about what everybody else is doing. I got to keep it moving. I got to keep it moving. Now, if you want to jump on this train,
If you want to jump on a moving train, baby.
we want to take you with us. But our whole goal, you know, I'm not rich. I'm not rich. I'm not anything outside of nobody else. I just had a vision. I just wanted something better for our kids, and I just got to work.
Hold on, that leads me to ask the question: did we have a spot to go to when we was coming up fresh, when we was green out here, really didn't know where did we wanted to go, what did we wanted to do? I'm talking about as Terrell and Wanda. Did we have a spot?
We did.
You had a spot.
I had a spot.
What kind?
So I had 4-H, I had Girl Scouts, I had the candy lady in my neighborhood, I had Miss Janie next door, I had the playground with monitors, it was things in our community. We were in a building to switch. I mean you don't advocate for really beating the kids, but you know, like the Lord says, you spare the rod, you spoil the child. And we see that since the government has made, you know, our form of punishment, you know, criminal, we see the difference that has happened to our children.
Yeah.
So again,
Like
I'm not
care.
advocating for beating our kids, but I rather chastise my own kid than to have the police or somebody else do it.
Yeah.
So it is obvious that we see a decline in the moral fabric of our young people, and something has to change.
Definitely. We definitely see a decline in the moral value, and people like yourself, you know, are to be commended, you know, when you can pull a coattail of a youth and show them their ways, you know. Now, you said you had a spot. I had spots too, you know. I had the spots, but then there were spots too. Then there was other spots too. Somehow I was able to maintain a balance where I didn't stay in them other spots so long where I got, you know, I rotted out. You know, I rotted out. How was your...
A lot of times, how a young person get over or get out, usually it's that one mentor that made the difference.
Yeah, I did have that mentor.
If you think back to most of the people that actually make it out,
Yeah.
somebody seen something in that child that made them want to cling to them.
Ain't that
and
the
move
truth?
them
That's
to the next phase. These kids are kids. It is a lot of things happening while our youth is in a disarray. But nobody wants to talk about that elephant in the room.
What's the elephant
And
in
see,
your
one
mouth?
of the things we have to do as adults is hold ourselves accountable. We talk about the behavior of these young people being violent, but that's all they see. And see, one thing about when you and I were growing up, certain things we were not privileged to because they knew our minds were not equipped to handle the information. But you think about, and I don't care how good of a parent you are, your kids are influenced by so many things around them. So you cannot just
Internet.
point the finger at a parent. It is us as a community. Things, again, have to change. And we have to start making the changes. Us and our communities have to start standing up. I've been around for 20 years. I can count the fingers about how many people come out and really, you know, support the work that we're doing. You know, we really working on a
20 years in
shoestring
doing what
bubblegum.
20 years in on a shoestring budget in the beginning, doing what you do. No excuses. Hold on, did you yourself bump your head a few times on the coming up?
Absolutely. Even as a teenager, right? I had my, and that's why I can identify with them, because I'll speak truth. I had my times when I was young, you know what I'm saying, in school, you know what I'm saying, as a young adult, you know, with my friends and things like that, getting into trouble and things like that. But I had a mother and a praying grandmother And so that made the difference for me.
I had a
That
mother
made-
and a praying
grandmother. So that made the difference for me. But that is something that a lot of
Your
our
father
young
wasn't
kids-
around?
Unfortunately, no.
They took the truth.
Unfortunately,
You
no.
got other siblings that
I
you
do.
came up with?
I do.
Come
And
from a big family or?
so it was me, my mother, and my sister. My mother, she divorced my father when we were really young, and he was, had his challenges, and so he was removed, but he kept in touch with us, like we knew who he was, and she was married when she had us, so he kept in contact with us, but he had his own challenges, and so we knew what that was, but we knew he had love for us, and so
You knew he had love for you.
that made a difference. Yeah.
You,
he acknowledged
you,
us.
your mother, and your sister, you said.
Yep. And then when we got older, she had two sons, and we had two younger brothers. So it's 4 of us in total.
As you got older, your mother ended up having some more kids.
Yeah, when we got grown, she when we got grown, she had two boys.
How did you feel about that?
We actually was happy because we always wanted brothers, so it was a good thing
was
for
actually
us,
happy.
and we was grown, so it wasn't long. I was out the door, so.
Right. You was out the door. Okay.
Yeah, but we was really happy when. As a matter of fact, my brother next Saturday he is having his first event. Twan Connects. He is going to be at St. James doing a community
On the
conversation. Yes, on Superior and 105. He's doing Twan Connects, so he's doing community conversations. He felt like it wasn't enough resources in Glenville, so he's bringing resources
So
to the
this
community.
is your brother you're talking about?
My younger brother. Yeah,
Wow.
my kid brother.
So you all have this type of civic pride.
Absolutely, and that comes from my mom. My sister really works hands in hand with me. Normally she would be with me, but today she wasn't able to make it. But she's been with me from the inception. She does a lot of our graphic arts and a lot of our, designing and things like that.
Now, you said you might have bumped your head too coming up, but you don't have a family, any children, right?
No.
So we was still buckled down a little bit. We was buckled down.
Yes.
We were buckled down. And when is it that you started formulating these ideas in your head that you want to help, you want to fill a void? 20
I
years
would
ago.
guess I started early, working with building entrepreneurship. And so I started out as the candy lady on my street. And I would,
Being the example.
I started
You was the
out as
candy lady.
So I would sell everything out my house, candy,
The penny
everything.
candy, all of
Penny
that?
candy, whatever you need. When the corner store closed, I have what you need.
Hold on,
you need a
you
little
know
stick of butter, an onion or something.
What about when they was drinking that haterade?
No,
They ain't never called no people on you just because they see you doing what you do.
No, because it was just neighbors and stuff like that and the kids. And every summer we throw a big party and give free candy out. It was just like a community thing, and all the kids know. It's like back in the old days where you get the frozen popsicle and all that.
Were you doing that as, I'm going to create another stream of income, or is it you wanted to make inroads into your community and start meeting the youth in your community?
Both.
So it was actually that.
Both. It was both. It was income for sure.
Okay.
But it was also a way to connect to the kids, and that's where I got my first taste, because they would come and they would talk about problems they would have at the house or with their parents, or they were trying to go through different things, and they would come and get my advice, and we started with that. And then as I moved on to my professional life and started working professionally, I went into that type of work. So I started out.
What type of work you went into?
So the nonprofit work and community service. I came up under my mom. She had her own nonprofit organization.
Oh, your mom had a 501c3 at one point?
Mm-hmm.
Doing what? What was she servicing doing?
So she had an organization addressing the welfare rights changes. They went from having benefits as long as you need them to a 2-year cutoff. and it was
Meaning you
really
can only be on welfare for like
for
2 years.
life for 2 years. And so her organization went back and forth to Columbus and talked to legislators and got it changed so that now you can get on for 2 years, you off for 2 years, you can get back on for 2 years. So
Your mom was instrumental in that.
yes,
Huh?
yeah,
Yeah, man. See what I'm saying?
yeah.
It
So,
would have been all bad for you after them 2 years. You would have had to hit the pole.
yeah.
You would have had to get naked. You would have had to have them rocks in your pocket, baby. You would have had that thing on you or something. You would have had to do something, man. You know, to help you go through the transitional periods. You know, but for your mom to be a champion, is she still with us?
Yeah, she's still with us. She retired to kind of help take care
What's
of
your mom's
grandkids.
name?
Priscilla Cooper.
Priscilla Cooper. Yeah, I like to identify them angels that's walking the earth with us.
Yes.
Priscilla Cooper. Sound like an angel too. Priscilla Cooper. Definitely, man. You know, because some of us, we need those benefits. You know, it's hard out here for a pimp when you're trying to get the money for the rent. You know, that was the movie, y'all. That ain't my lyrics. You know what I'm saying? So, hold on. So, it started with the penny candy. Kids coming around, they're voicing their concerns, they're voicing what's going on with them. You're being receptive. You're starting to give them great advice. And now you got turned up into, I want to be this person of help. I want to be the spot where you can come to and get help.
Yeah.
What's
So-
some of the things you help people with the Spot Youth Empowerment Organization?
So what we really do is help transform the youth through skill development and building up personal development and advocacy, and also helping them to understand the world and the environment around them. A lot of times the organizations just work on jobs or this or that, but we want them to be well-rounded. So we work with them with relationship building, friendships. We do activities together. And then I'm speaking about our ambassadors and our leadership team. But then we do big programming.
So you do
throughout
get
the city.
ambassadors that help you get your point across in different arenas.
So they actually get their point across. So this organization, the young people, so our leadership team is trained to be leaders in the community. So what we do is we develop them in leadership and community organization, and they use those skills to go out and build programming, like our State of the Youth Forum that we did at St. James, which we'll be doing again this year. Or giveaways, different things that they do in the community. So they actually develop them. We just help supply the framework and the support so that they can come out and be leaders in their community and develop it like they want to see it develop, and giving them the skills to do it early so that when it's their time, they're ready instead of having to get ready.
I'm going to follow up on that question, but you got a question from the audience.
Yes.
The question that I have is, do you think welfare caused a situation for the dark-skinned people when they introduced welfare to us, as far as kicking the mail out of the house in order for me to help you? I mean, I call that division, and it's terrible now. What's your opinion of that?
So we know that systems and laws have been created to break up the families because community is power. And the more we're together, the more power we have. That's why they keep you believing that your vote don't count. So you just, the more we stand up together and start building our communities up, the better we'll be as a whole. The problem is, I find that, and this is just my personal opinion, we have to start building together. Building in separate entities that just leaves us too vulnerable. It leaves us too vulnerable. And we have a lot of strength in numbers that we can be using to help our young people, because we keep talking about the problem. Everybody knows what the problem is. Y'all watch it every day. How long we gonna talk about it? Like, when is we gonna move to the point of action?
What's the
Like,
problem? Some people haven't identified it. What's the problem?
Right. I just seen a young man the other day. He had some young boys around him. He was teaching them how to change the oil. Now, that don't seem like a big deal, but guess what? When them young men get up and they get their first car, they don't got to go to nobody and get their oil changed. And guess what? They can turn that into a business, because now everybody on the block that need their oil changed, they can now do it. Now, how many men can show a young man how to change an oil? A whole bunch of them. It's things that you can do in your community. It's no reason why, and it do not take money. It just takes commitment.
Just take commitment. So do you believe that's what's missing? That people just we're lacking taking the initiative as the elders in our communities. We're lacking taking the initiative.
I think that's a two-part answer, because another thing I think is happening is because of the demonization that's happening through media, a lot of the elders are afraid of our kids.
Demonization of the youth?
And, yes, through media.
Yeah.
And the way that we're portrayed and music
like
and
we
video.
so scared now.
Yeah. They really are scared when I talk to people. Oh, I will help you, but these kids. But here's the thing that I find, because I'm a lady and I talk to a lot of the boys, and you would be surprised, even the ones that they say be so rough, they most of the time, if you're respectable to them, they're respectable to you. What I find is a lot of adults take the assumption that because I'm an adult,
that I get to talk to you crazy.
Yeah.
I get to disrespect you.
Yeah.
I get to be all in your space, in your face. Nah, it don't go like that.
Right.
It don't go like that.
Right.
You're right about that.
Young people are people too, so if
people
you give me attitude, you might upset me, so I might give you attitude back and a little cuss word to go with it.
No, that's funny you say that, because I had to check myself just yesterday. Young man come over to the house, he want to sell internet. I'm telling him, because the people in the house telling him, in so many words, no, we don't want the service. So I go to voice my opinion. Yeah, brother, it ain't going to work here. He said, why you come at me like that? He said, why you come at? So I adjust, because I really didn't come at him like no way, but he took it a kind of way. So I just had to let him know, ain't nobody getting on you, man. Ain't nobody hating on you. Keep doing what you do. It's just this household right here is not looking for your services.
My son told me, you can't talk to me that way, Daddy, no more. I ain't know that. I was
Absolutely. Right, absolutely.
Yeah, hold on, Terrell and Wanda.
Okay.
You helping these young people. What about them smart Alex that think they know it all? You run across them in your journey?
Absolutely. So here's my philosophy. I work with anybody. You can come from anywhere. You could be any color, any race, any sex. It doesn't matter. However, you have to respect me, and you have to respect the program. If you want to level up and you want to make some changes in your life, you want to set some goals, you want to level up, you want to have some opportunities, I'm always open. You can call me anytime. If I don't answer, leave a message, I definitely will get back to you or somebody on my team.
Now, candidly, before the show, you told me you work with 14-year-olds up to 25, whether they male or female. And I asked some serious questions like, well, if I'm a young girl and I need to get on welfare, I need to get them stamps going, I can come to the spot and get led in the right direction to those resources.
Absolutely.
If I needed WIC, I can go to the spot, Youth Empowerment Organization, and get a lead to that. Okay. I even posed the question, if I was a young father and I wanted to be in my children's life and I needed resources to help me do that, you all could steer me in the right direction.
Absolutely. Absolutely.
Can you give me an example of somebody most recently that you helped and what you helped them with?
So I
Hold that thought.
okay.
I'm told we got to take a quick break.
Oh,
Oh, you got
oh
a
question.
Oh,
Okay.
Well, can she answer the question I just posed?
Okay.
Yeah.
So recently, so we have a young gentleman that was part of our ambassador program. He had been expelled from school. Not only is he in school, we put him in Frederick Douglass.
Who brought him to your attention real quick?
Parent.
Okay.
He went to Frederick Douglass, and now he has a job. He'll be getting his high school diploma, not a GED, but his high school diploma from Frederick Douglass, and he has a job.
And he has a job and he's getting a... So how were you able to reach him? What is it that what spectacular did you reach him with to make him go get a job and finish his school and all?
He wanted it.
He wanted it.
He wanted it. He
What was in it? What
open
was in
to
his
it.
way?
So he had some issues with teachers. That was one of the issues. And
Like with the problems with authority type
yeah,
stuff?
Yeah, he had a problem with authority. Yeah, he did have a problem with authority. And I don't really think he comprehended what was going on. But we went with him to his hearings when he was going through his...
Along with his parent?
Along with his parents, yeah. Along
Okay.
with his parents.
Because if the
as a
parent ain't
support.
there, I ain't there.
Right.
If you don't care, I don't care.
No, that's not true because it's a lot
Okay.
of young people.
Yeah, I'm glad she's a
No.
real one.
No.
She corrected me on that one. If she would have let that slide, it would have been like a slight issue. It would have been like a slight issue.
Yes, because we are.
Okay.
Yeah, we're here for the kids. So
Okay.
you know, and because we have a lot of young people that are not with their parents for different reasons. Maybe parents passed or in foster care. A lot of our young people
Or they
come
ran
out
away
of
from the
foster
parents.
care, and so you know. Or human trafficking and other things like that, because that's big in this town as well, human trafficking. We got a lot of kids. Matter of fact, it's a safe space right on 105 and Superior for trafficked. They can go shower, get clothes and resources, counseling, all
But the
this
thing
kind
with
of
that
thing.
is, a lot of time they don't know that they're being sex trafficked.
Right.
I had a few ladies on the show that spoke to their stories. They had some real compelling, impactful, powerful stories how they went through human trafficking. But the thing was, they didn't know they were going through it.
That's
When
right.
they were going through it.
That's right.
They lived to tell about it. And it was only after the fact that they realized that they were human trafficked.
That's right.
You know?
Because our kids encounter so much on a day-to-day basis, and they don't have an outlet to really talk about what they're going through because there's no real safe spaces for our young people. You know, there's nowhere for our kids to go. We got a few wrecks, but the rules and things that's associated with these spaces, and then there's nobody really in there to really have a conversation with or that you can go and share and be intimate with, and then if you do go to certain places, it could mean you possibly getting in some type of trouble. So, just trying to be, that place where our young people can have some protection.
All right, so, we're going to take a quick break, and then we're going to ask, we got a question from the audience when we come back. Player T, that's me, Hollywood in the Hood. Pardon me 1 second.
It's coming out there. Always shining so bright, strawberry champagne all night. Looking for you, that's what I like. Looking for you, that's what I like. That's what I like. Looking for you, that's what I like. That's what I like. Looking for you, that's what I like.
Trip to Puerto Rico, say the word and we go. You can be my flica, girl, I'll be a flica, mama.
That's yours. That's yours.
Oh, it is? Okay, thank you.
I promise that this smile ain't gonna never
else on there?
Anything you want, just put a smile on your face.
Deserve it all, you deserve it all. Oh, the sun is so bright. Strawberry champagne all night. Lucky for you, that's what I like. That's what I like. Lucky for you, that's what I like. That's what I like. Lucky for you, that's what I like. That's what I like. Lucky for you, that's what I like. That's what I like. Strawberry champagne all night. Looking for you, that's what I like. That's what I like. Looking for you, that's what I like. That's what I like. All night. Looking for you, that's what I like. That's what I like. Looking for you, that's what I like. That's what I like.
Then everyone has an iPhone 17 Pro. Stay connected with AT&T.
Hey, Mason. You got this, guys. Come on.
Hey, did you want anybody to come up and speak at one point? Or you find like how you are?
Nah, we don't do it. They ain't
Huh? I'm cool, whatever we gotta do. Whatever. No. Yeah, no.
Thank you. 'Cause you know hey, you know my camera is jacked up. I know.
Real quick. I know I don't want to kill your parade, but we want to be the first ones